Priceless psychological edge are at stake should these teams meet again in a fortnight at Twickenham.
Bath still out there, and their fans here to wish them well. Glos are the leading try scorers this season. Bath have gone try crazy in recent games. It will be tense. It could be a thrilling match as well. Dean Ryan and his Gloucester side first then. The front row looking set in concrete these days. Nick Wood, Carlos Nieto, the props. Andy Tittrell, a title winner 2 years ago with Sale, of course. He's hooker. Marco Bortolami, the captain, and Alex Brown, who started life at Bath. They're the locks. Alistair Strokosh and Akapusi Ongera didn't play here against Munster, but they do start today, and they were excellent at Wasps. Number 8, another ex-Bath player, Gareth Dowell, preferred to Luke Narraway. Rory Lawson and Ryan Lamb, the halfbacks. The stage is set for Lamb. Anthony Allen and Mike Tindall, the centres. Tindall, another formerly of Bath, and we find one more in the back three. Not the wingers, Leslie Vinacolo and James Simpson Daniel. It's the fullback Ian Bolshaw, with Ollie Morgan not considered because of a dead leg. Steve Meehan, the man who's chosen the Bath side, and that's his captain with his final word, Steve Borthwick. And if you were watching our live game in Bath last week, you would have seen home prop David Barnes go off injured. Well, he should be okay next week, but that calf injury means David Flatman fills in today. Matt Stevens is the informed tight head. Lee Mears, man of the match when these two met in the mud in January. So both captains wear 4. We've seen Steve Borthwick, he's Bath, Danny Grucock alongside. Johnny Famatoa-Inu and Michael Lipman, the flankers. Daniel Brown at number 8, working terrifically as a unit, this back row. So too the Springbok halfbacks, Michael Claessens and Butch James. Ollie Barkley will be Mike Tindall's centre partner next season. He could well be in the summer in New Zealand. I wonder what Anthony Allen makes of all that talk. Gloucester-bound Barkley is with Tom Cheeseman today, back in for Alex Crockett. Matt Banahan has 10 Premiership tries to his name this season. Andrew Higgins, he's the other wing as Joe Maddock goes to full back. Nick Bendenen has been having treatment this week for his hamstring problem. Well, there's no doubt as to exactly what all of this means. Home semi-final, finishing top of the pile after the regular campaign as well. And of course doesn't lead to the trophy, but it's a major feather in the cap and it's a big confidence boost. The replacements, Gloucester went in with 5 forwards in Wickham last Sunday. It worked a treat. A slight change today, 4 forwards, 3 backs, their split. The same for Bath. And the West Country just about ready for this magnificent way to end the season.
Well, this match is a universe all of its own within the wider rugby world. It's always a big game when Bath come here. Bragging rights are at stake, but so much more at stake today. Bath, as the boys have been saying in the studio, as Graham Simmons has said, have yet to beat one of the top 6 away. If they can do that today, that's almost the icing on the cake. If Gloucester win today, having beaten Wasps, they will feel themselves invincible at club level.
History shows it pays to be at home in the semi-final playoff. No side has won through to Twickenham, having played on enemy territory at that stage. And Bath know that a win today and it's back to the wreck next week for Meehan's men, and that on the back of a morale-boosting victory here. Not that Bath look particularly short on confidence. Saracens will vouch for that. But this is where the real action starts. There are no style prizes in this league. It's all about the trophy, and that all starts to come to a head now. Steve Borthwick, it will be King's Home in Saracens colours for him next season. For Ollie Barkley, it will be King's Home in Gloucester colours. But for now, It's a trophy for Bath that they seek. Here they come. Slow to return to the dressing room after the warm-up. Slow in their walk out.
It's a very moody-looking Bath team. Steve Borthwick, as you say, is on his way to Saracens, but he has been heart and soul Bath. And Bath now, they're not after the European Challenge Cup, they're after the Premiership. They see the big prize, they're playing well enough. But Gloucester, what an opposition in round 22.
Ready then for the Gladiators. That's the name of the county cricket side, isn't it? I always thought it was more appropriate for this lot. And the local feeling is that it's high time for a thumbs up in the final. But they've got to earn the place first. And signs against Wasps last week that this might be the year come the big games. And the big games have certainly come now.
They've been waiting a long time for that big win, but last week with Akapusi Ongera putting his team on the front foot, Ryan Lamb dictated the show, and James Simpson-Daniel was absolutely brilliant. It is going to be some derby today.
Dave Pearson checks his watch, as we all do. It's the one weekend of the season when all 6 Guinness Premiership matches begin at the same time. We know 2 of the top 4. We're about to see them, but they do not know who they will be playing or where that match will take place. Today, the day when the table is finally set. Let's enjoy the fair. Barclay of Bath.
Fight blue, get out of there! Fight blue!
Lawson waits for it to come back. Another excellent performer at Adams Park in that victory against Wasps. And the Scottish scrum half uses his boot. Maddock. Remember, fullback today. Lamb. After his own up and under, in front of the shed, catching Claessens, who caught the ball. Borthwick. Well, that's excellent work by Ongera again on that gain line. Say again because he's continuing where he left off against Wasps. Butch James with a kick, ball short against his former club. Now this will be interesting. Claessens was first to react. Lawson. And we'll get our first line out. Fascinating start.
It was. Matt Stevens has been at the epicentre of everything of Bath. 1 out on the charge. Now look at this. 2 tackles immediately there, Tittrell there, but still Stevens just about makes the gain line. But Ongera was straight in. The Fijian, who loves the hard grounds, against the South African who plays for England, who carries the hard yards.
Elsewhere, we've had a score. We'll go to it shortly. Already a try has been scored in one of the key games. Thrown by Mears. James, Higgins, Anthony Allen. That's a forceful tackle from him. Claessens, Mears. Well, you can tell Gloucester are really up for this. Tackling right on that line. Claessens again. Brown, that's good hands. Banahan. Dell tries to stop him. Lawson and Strakosch in there, but Banahan very strong indeed. James, Mears again. Claessens, James, Cheeseman. Did well to get through. He was being clattered from both sides. Gloucester driving through in the tackle. Claessens feels the force again. It's turnover ball. No, it's not. Claessens has come through with it. From Matois Inu. Stevens out to Lippmann. Barkley might have an extra man outside. Barkley's going himself. Was a chance to move it, maybe. Lippmann quickly off the floor there. Borthwick and now Higgins. Well, Gloucester certainly making the tackles, but the ball retention from Bath is superb. Stevens, Lippmann. Again, there are men outside for Barkley. It's Brown. Just couldn't get that ball away, perhaps crucially. In goes Ongera, and it's a Gloucester penalty, and the defence holds out.
Flat out offence from Bath there. Gloucester are trying to put two tacklers to the one runner to stop Bath offloading, but Bath stretched them. Barkley through first of all, and Lawson made a great tackle against Fraser Waters against Wasps last week. Barkley's got the pace to go through Strokosz. He thinks that he's got the momentum. He's going to step off the left, and Lawson, as he did against Fraser Waters, pulls off a fine try-saving tackle against Ollie Barkley. But Gloucester are flooding men into the tackle. 2-3 on the one Bath man to stop them unloading, but still Bath are putting width on it.
Lamb puts the ball out, and we should check on that score. It's come up Welford Road, and it's gone to Harlequins. Scored by Mike Brown. Conversion obviously was going to be good from underneath the post. Harlequins must beat Leicester to get top four and hope that Sale lose or do not get 2 match points. Good start for Harlequins. Conversely, terrible start for Leicester, who still have an outside chance of top four, mainly about Europe for them though. Bolshaw's kick, backwards off Banahan, and then Banahan goes forwards, as he so often does. Claessen's James. Now this is interesting, there's space there. Oh, Barkley drops it. Well, he's hardly made a mistake in recent times. He applauds the thinking and the execution of his fly half. He just couldn't deliver. Let's look at the table while Stuart speaks.
Breathless stuff there. Gorgeous kick from Butch James, as you can see. Harlequins just going over Leicester, and Leicester looking in trouble. But here at Gloucester, the team in trouble at the moment are the home side. Barkley should have held that. Gloucester had a net of 4 players deep. It was too deep, and James dropped a short ball in. And again, Gloucester were under all sorts of pressure there from Bath, who are varying their game very well.
Wait for me.
Just watch it here. That's well,
you go straight.
Barkley in space there, but Gloucester had numbers.
And as you look at that table today, remember it's 1 versus 4, 2 versus 3 in the semi-finals. 1 and 2 clearly being the home sides next weekend.
Step this way, lads. Quiet. Crouch.
It's hard to believe we haven't had a point here.
Touch.
After the start we've had. Long way out, but it's a penalty for Gloucester on halfway. Leeds Carnegie take an early 3-0 lead against London Wasps.
Yeah, sure.
Well, still with this chance of overhauling one of these two to get top 2.
Go.
Well, let's just look at the other fly half as one Ryan Lamb aims to go for goal. Butch James there can see just how flat Wasps are, and look at this gap here. It is a great big hole, and you can see Wasps have just Gloucester have only got defenders 20 metres deep, and James has picked that hole out. Barkley should have taken it, but Gloucester did have numbers back there. It wasn't a try scoring opportunity.
The one in Wasps sights. Bath can't overhaul Gloucester. Just need the 1 match point today, Gloucester, to guarantee themselves the home semi-final. Just wide.
They hooked it. Little bit of a hook there. He had the distance, Ryan Lamb, and he's in front of the post. He'll be disappointed with that.
Well, it's a great day for kicking, isn't it?
Yeah,
Perfect.
great day for some big thumping tackling as well. Anthony Allen, who's probably going to lose his place to Ollie Barkley, he is going to tackle more than his weight today. And here's my point about Gloucester. 1-2 men there, getting low pile driving positions. They're trying to keep Bath on the back foot. And this isn't a big hit, but it's the biggest tackle of the game so far by Lawson. Saves a try.
Simpson Daniel, cool enough to bring it down in the end. Up it goes from Lawson. Maddock scored the try at the Rec when these two met in January. Memorable game, wet night. Bath still played some lovely rugby. James unable to find touch. He's found Bolshaw. He once scored 10 tries in the season for Bath. Something that Matt Banahan is trying to do. Extend that to 11 today.
Stevens taken by both props.
Here comes Farmer Twatty, who's got great pace. Mears taken, give Barkley. Here is Banahan looking for number 11. Grewcock. Wood was a nuisance there, but it still falls for Claessens. Bath into their game again. Claessens is giving the penalty away.
Playing the ball on the floor. I mean, it was like pinball there. It came back so fast that Claessens' instincts just took over. Bath are really trying to put some pace on this game, and Claessens didn't have time to get up there. Once again, you know, Grewcock offloading. Lippmann there feeds it back. He's on the floor from just offloading. It's just pure instinct, isn't it?
And on the fall because Gloucester were holding on. Another try at Welford Road. This time it's gone to the home side. In the sunshine there, it's Ben Herring who's got himself over in the corner. No conversion from out wide though. 5-7 the score.
That's moved off the line.
Another 3 points for Leeds.
Start at stay slow, it's not a problem.
That really does take the pressure off these two.
Not out.
And certainly Bath. Long way to go yet, though. Here's Vinocola. He's got a long way to go from there. Gives it the Bolshaw with his pace. Oh, Tyndall! What a tackle from Claessens. Tyndall up and plays. Strokosz. Very clever from Tyndall. Nearly got away. James comes in with a big hit there for Bath and turns it over. And Claessens, his South African mate, completes the clearance.
What pace.
It will be Bath ball as well because Strokosz touched that.
Great pace on this game. Gloucester now putting width on it. Lovely passing from Lamb. Higgins held in there, and Tyndall's support line is superb because it's deep. One-handed pluck, but what a tackle from Claessens. That's one from each scrum half now, and then Butch James saves the day after that. But this is lovely. Bolshaw up and over, beautiful, plucked out with one hand from Tyndall, and Claessens a magnificent lassoing tackle there, and then Butch James comes in to save the day as well. Lovely rugby match. Look at that from James as well. Physicality, pace all over the park. It's been Bath in the first 10. Suddenly Gloucester looked deadly.
Here's a man that Gloucester will not want to lose.
No, Mike Tyndall is starting to play really well. I thought he was immense against Watt. He's a real warrior defensively, and here he's using his pace, thinking he's away from his former club, but that is textbook tackling from Michael Claessens, who has been brilliant for Bath all season. 10-5 classic in the mud at the Rec earlier in the season. This could be a classic, but I don't think it's going to be 10-5.
Stay where you are, Red. Let's go.
Mears taking his time, and that's why.
One, get out of there.
That's always a fail-safe weapon for Bath. Under pressure, Mears, Borthwick, Grewcock, it's a hell of a weapon.
Got a problem with him. Let it down.
Alex Brown is trying to get right in there, and he was. Has another go.
Step, lads.
It's got to the 9.
Higgins therefore becomes the 9. Tackled by Nieto there on the fringe. From Matoy.
Hands off. Off his leg.
Claessen's now back in pole position. He's in the armchair. He's been in most of 2008 right now.
Bath put in. This is interesting what's happening around the country as well. None of the players will be aware of that at the moment. Gloucester all but there, one more point. I mean, Wasp can catch them, but it's got to be a bonus point victory with the 4 tries, and also a win by a cricket score, hasn't it, because of the points difference. Wasp would have 14 wins, Gloucester would have 14 wins if they lost this match. So you're almost assuming that Gloucester are going to be in front of Wasp, but of course it's Bath looking over the shoulder of Wasp.
Well, Dean, talking to Graham Simmons before, said we'll worry about the mathematics afterwards. They're looking to win this game. They win this game, they know they're #1 seeds.
There's Bannock. Banahan, bit of space on the outside of Simpson. Daniel Banahan away from him. The fullback to beat. And that is a fine tackle from Bolshaw. Banahan has been through many a tackle this season, but not that one from Bolshaw. Simpson Daniel lost his man on the outside.
First man, side entry.
Dave Flatman's lost his shoe.
Once again, we're seeing in the Premiership teams not afraid to play from deep. Bath put width on it. James Simpson-Daniel got sucked in too much there, and then once he was off balance, he couldn't use his pace. It was about power, and when it's power against power, Banahan is always going to win. I was a little bit surprised he didn't swerve a bit. It's a great tackle by Bolshaw, but he made himself an easy target. He comes off his left foot, then that's a hell of a hard tackle for Bolshaw to make.
Meanwhile, Mike Tyndall continues to be in trouble.
What a good start Ian Bolshaw's made, though, in attack and defence. But Bolshaw, it's a big target, isn't he, there, Banahan? He's not really got the left hand out to fend off. He's probably disappointed there. It's a superb tackle, Bolshaw, but I don't think Matt Banahan, with all his size and weight and pace, could have made it any easier there. Well, this is a blow. Tyndall going off.
We've got nothing from the fourth. Time off.
He's hot. He's not off yet.
Yeah. 13's behind us. We've got a replacement.
Going to have to be part of this move unless Gloucester step in. And they do, because Willie Walker's coming on. The call has been made. Referee now realising that Walker's making his way round.
Time out. Yeah, it's Tyndall there.
Walker goes to full-back. Bolshaw goes on to the right wing.
Mears throws. Borthwick takes. Bath going for the drive here. Then the offload. Claessens is caught by Ongera. Look where he's taken him. Got a bit of help, but Ongera, the first line of defence, and he's done it again.
Well, on the rugby club, we showed how he manhandled Tom Rees. Now it's Michael Claessen's turn. Bath 3 metres from the line. He's so quick. It's not just the power. He's so fast out of the traps there. He gets this dynamism going, and he just drives him backwards, and there's nothing Bath can do. That's a 10-metre turnover that is brilliant there from Ongera.
Let's go. Stay up.
All Bath pressure, no points yet. Lamb gets it away. There are plenty of points at Welford Road in this battle to sneak in between Leicester and Quince. It's Leicester attacking again, and at the end of the move you're going to see a try from Tom Varndell, skipping round the man, one to beat. That's a lovely finish, isn't it? Now the kick was good. It made it 12-7, and it stays 12-7, we hear.
That's the finish Banahan didn't produce. He swerved out, he came in, he fixed his full back, and then went out again. Banahan ran straight, and it made it easier. Great from Varndell, though.
Lawson. Look at that at Headingley. 3 penalties from LB Di Bernardo for Leeds Carnegie. Stuart Lancaster's last match. Little shove there on Vinocola. Referee's got an arm out. So touch judge has the flag out. And we're going to get the penalty.
Time off.
It was obstruction, wasn't it?
Yep. don't think Dave Pearson will mind a little chat with his touch judge at the moment, because this is fast and furious. You can see Higgins is the man. Comes in with a blocking line on Leslie Vainicolo there.
I think I saw
there it is,
the winger
14.
Bath obstruct the winger this side. Correct.
Number 14 blue, penalty against.
Yeah. Where are we? 10. Go on, mate.
Andrew Higgins, the man.
Winger. I saw it as well as the touch judge. You ran across the winger's line, blocking him going for the ball. It's a penalty for obstruction. 15, Peter. Yeah. Goal.
So the penalty opportunity for Ryan Lamb. Easier kick than his first miss.
Yeah.
Well, this would be a fine start for Gloucester, because Bath have come out of the trap so fast. Gloucester have held them, no points. Now they could go 3-0 up.
Try heading lead. Tom Boyce is going through here. So Wasps get their first try towards 4 for the bonus point. And the conversion was good. So that lead is cut to 2. What about Gloucester here, establishing a 3-point lead? And Ryan Lamb, the man who started the season as the player of the month in September, man who was on fire against London Wasps last week at Wycombe in such an important win, is the man to get the first points of this crucial game here at Kingsholm. 3-0.
On fire in terms of his form, but in terms of his temperament, very cool at the moment, Ryan Lamb. He's maturing rapidly as a fly half, and that penalty is one predominantly for the defence. Bath have done most of the attacking. Gloucester have defended superbly, and they've struck with the first points. Bath, so used to starting fast, are 3-0 down.
Delph. Ex-Bath, like Brown, in the pack today for Gloucester. 4 ex-Bath men in the starting 15, although we've lost Tyndall now. Another line out coming here. We've had a try in Stockport. And it's come for the away side. Sale were attacking, but it's Topsioja on the breakaway. And the conversion was good as well, even though it was a difficult one. It's Sale Sharks 0, London Irish 7.
And you know,
and you can see that gap between Sale and Leicester, the 1 point, courtesy of Sale's bonus point, losing bonus point at this stage. But it's worth reiterating, at this stage, long, long way to go.
just thinking England will announce a team next week for New Zealand. Topsioja scoring a good one there. There's a lot of players playing for a great deal today.
Cheeseman. Claessens. Lippmann. Tittrell trying to make that tackle. Lippmann very strong though. James, up comes Lamb. He's come bursting up there. Could sense that Brown was going to find support, and does. And Brown's not only found support, he's carried into that 22. It's a pretty ferocious hit of the ruck as well from Brown, but it's Gloucester ball again. Now against Munster, this is where Gloucester lost the game. Banahan. Bolshaw not so successful this time. Banahan having Ward cling to his bootlaces. Mears. Taken on the stretch by James to Lippmann, changed the point of attack, but eventually it goes forward.
Matt Banahan there was a little bit like Gulliver's Travels, wasn't it, with a couple of Lilliputians in the end. Too many numbers, just too great there, although they're pretty big for Lilliputians. Here Bolshaw, who's made a try-saving tackle, goes too high, and Banahan relishes that one. But Gloucester are throwing huge numbers into the tackle situation, and that's just slowing Bath down when you think they're getting away. It's a fascinating first 20 minutes.
It's fascinating here. It's also fascinating in Leicester. Because we've got another try there. And it's ding-dong. between these two, because the former Leicester man, Will Skinner, has scored for Harlequins, to be followed by the conversion Leicester 12, Harlequins 14. Now Quins must beat Leicester to get top four and hope that Sale get a defeat, if that's the way of putting it, at home to London Irish, but get absolutely nothing. And that, at the moment, as it stands, with Harlequins getting the win at Welford Road, would take them into the top four.
Quins win and a Sale loss, that does it full stop, doesn't it?
It does.
Both of you.
Sale have got to be looking for bonus points.
Come up to it, lads. Step, there's your mark. Step up, please. Crouch, touch, pause, engage.
It's an interesting one here as well. We talk a lot about Matt Stevens in the front row and his gallivanting around the park. He's a strong scrummager, and he's up against Nick Wood today on the loose head, who is a good, strong player, having a fine season.
Just to clarify that, you were saying Quins win and Sale lose and get nothing.
Timing, shoulder, straight.
They're not getting much here, are they? Is this another one for Sale?
It is. Mapasua goes in. London Irish thinking about sneaking into Europe. That's the subplot of the day. And that all-important sixth place, which would depend on the outcome of the Challenge Cup final. It is complicated. We'll try and guide you all the way through it. But Sale on the rack.
12 0's a long way. Before today, you know, I thought Sale's need to win would prevail, but I was very worried for Sale because London Irish's back three, Ojo and Tanguy Thakimbao, are wreaking havoc all over Europe at the moment.
You can see from that table, if Sale were to get within 7 and score 4 tries, and that's asking a lot the way things are going, but that would be enough because they got the extra win.
Well, we're dealing in probabilities at the moment, which means Sale have to win, doesn't it? I know what you mean.
Stevens, a man that Gloucester know they have to be on watch for throughout the whole 80 minutes of this match. Been wreaking havoc, Matt Stevens, in the Premiership this season.
Tackler away!
As his return from the World Cup. Mears, Claessens, Barkley.
Nick Wood very strong there, isn't he?
From a Twitemu. Speed was spotted by Michael Jones a few years ago, got him straight into the Samoan squad. Gloucester having to make the tackles, aren't they? Walker, the replacement for Tyndall. Look at that for a reply. Not the best angle. James wants to get on with this, wants to get it back into the Gloucester half. Maddock.
Wait, lads.
Lawson.
Keep coming.
Claessens. Vanakola was there, but he got the ball away. Cheeseman, and that recent hat-trick against Worcester. Lamb needs to be quick here. Ooh. Great follow-up from Bath. 3 men there to attempt the tackle. But Lamb holds on to the ball. That's the key. And that's the kick from Walker. But it's not out. Flag stays down. James. Referee calls knock-on against Gloucester, so advantage here for Bath. Grukov still in with Claessens. Move it here. Great hands there from Stevens. And he's barging through. Oh, what a try this could be. No, he's hauled down by Simpson Daniel, who needed every bit of his pace there. Quick ball and Bath will score. Gloucester has slowed it right down. Look at the bodies all on the wrong side. They've turned it over.
Unbelievable defending from Gloucester.
What a moment this is for the home crowd to rejoice as if it was a try for their team.
Well, that's another brilliant piece of defence from Simpson Daniel, but is there another prop forward in the land who can do what Matt Stevens did there? Plucked that ball magnificently. He went on the outside arc and he was away, and he's down at the moment. But this, well, this is superb. You expect Ollie Barkley to do this. He's already taken a ball in front of him. He has smashed his way through Ryan Lamb. He's now heading towards the line. Andy Tittrell can't get anywhere near him, and Gloucester need probably their quickest man, James Simpson-Daniel, to make the tackle. 5 carries from Stevens. I was thinking he's carrying too often. He could be a decoy. Almost. That was the big one. Again, technically, that's brilliant from Simpson-Daniel. Goes low and slides.
Bath doing everything but scoring. Here's Cheeseman to Maddock. Simpson-Daniel across again. Showing his versatility since Tyndall's gone off. There's Grewcock. Barkley's pass. Borthwick is captain. Nieto trying to work that back. Referee doesn't like that though. Bath try and develop it. Claessens, James is going to try it. Vanacola comes in, so the penalty.
I just don't know how long Bath can keep up this punishing pace and attack, but I don't know how long Gloucester can keep defending like this. It is thrilling stuff.
Thrilling at Headingley too, because now Leeds have scored a try. It's another breakaway. It's Tom Binks, and they are fighting. Even though they are down, long down, they're fighting for professional pride, yes, but they're fighting for Stuart Lancaster in his final game. And what a way to go out it would be to beat London Wasps.
They're fighting for Harlequins and Sale as well at the moment, aren't they, Leeds? Amazing first 25 minutes to round 22 of what has been an incredible Premiership season. It really is the crescendo we anticipated it would be.
I'm very nervous saying things like this on an afternoon such as this, but you almost feel now that Gloucester can stop worrying about Wasps. It seemed a long shot in the first place because of the points difference, but yeah, let's not go too early.
Yeah, those Leeds points is not just the fact Wasps have only got 1 try so far. They're building up the points differential.
It was 49 at the start of the day.
But having said that,
they had to make up. Sorry, Stuart.
Gloucester had a great win at Wasps. If they lose today, it'll just deflate some of that self-confidence. A win is very important if Gloucester has to go all the way, and they've got the ability. Certainly they're showing the defence to do it, but Bath are playing brilliantly. It's wonderful defence at the moment against them.
Barkley with the equalising penalty goal. And if these two are to be the home semi-finalists, then in a way this game takes on even more significance.
Well, it does, because we start to get a game that could have psychological import if they meet in the final. Look at this, after half an hour, Gloucester have made 71 tackles and they've only missed 2. Bath just having to make a quarter of that tally. It tells you just how attacking-minded Bath have been and how well organised and powerful Gloucester have been in the tackle.
Grewcock.
Hands out, 7!
And a penalty. They've been very keen at the breakdown, Gloucester. Reap some rewards, but if they're going to live on the edge, they're going to give a few away as well.
Well, when the ball has gone to ground and we've had rucks, Gloucester have done really well. They've got the nudge and they've turned over Bath in a couple of key positions. What Bath need to do is keep the ball away from the ground, and that's where Gloucester are struggling, when the likes of Grewcock, Stevens are unloading, and then Bath can get people like Maddock and Banahan running into space.
By the way, Duncan Bell is on for Matt Stevens in the Bath pack.
A little diminishment in terms of pace, if not bulk.
Stevens right down below us. You can see him having his knee iced. There's his replacement Bell. And he's won 2 caps, 33 years of age now. Here's throws. Alex Brown trying to get one of those famous hands of his, certainly in the Premiership, if not internationally, nearly, but not quite on that occasion. 16-10 at Headingley, 3 points back there for London Wasps. Saracens are playing Bristol, don't forget, at Milton Keynes. No bearing on the top four, but of course Richard Hill's final game. Richard Hill, the player, that is. And Worcester Newcastle, that's 15-7, and that one, again, a matter of professional pride and trying to swap 11th and 10th position.
Well, Bath will be really disappointed here because they've got control of the ball, but unlike Bath, they actually get forced towards the touchline, and Gareth Delph is very strong there on Lee Mears, and Mears is saying to his teammates, what happened? You fractured. Easy for Delph.
The referee didn't like what he saw at the line out.
Number 6.
Number 6 for Bath is Farmer Twatinu.
Great concentration from Bordolami, and there's Farmer Twatinu. Well, he's not guilty of anything there. He's touched him and that's it. Let's go and have a game of touch rugby in the car park if that's a penalty.
Lamb puts the ball out. So there we were at the start of the game, talking about all those tries that Bath have been scoring recently, Gloucester being the leading try scorers in the Premiership this season. But I tell you what, sometimes you don't need a try for a cracker.
Oh, it's got nothing to do with a lack of ambition or some execution. But what we've seen so far, some brilliant defending. I think of 3 tackles, 2 from Gloucester, 1 from Bath.
All the way through to Ungary, he loves these.
Oh.
Higgins put his body on the line there.
Lippman's tackle was brilliant too.
Lamb. Strokosz. Manuel tour Argentina with Scotland in the summer. Business in England to do first though. Wood. Lawson, another Scottish tourist, gets it out to Lamb. Now it's Delph. Well played, Delph. He was looking for Vainikolo, and why not in that situation.
Just couldn't quite get the ball away there through the hands. Gareth Delph, very strong physical carrier, drawing 2 defenders. Always straining to get that one away though. Higgins, he waits as long as he can, he gets in there. If it goes to hand, there are certainly problems for Joe Maddock, but that's never getting to Vainikolo.
Andrew Higgins getting back to his feet. Just toying with us, we're about to show you another try. We'll hold on for a second.
You tease.
Claessen's 2, Higgins. Very strong there from the winger.
Very confident from Bath as well, scrumming their own 22, just moving in field.
They do have this willingness to go when it's on. Certainly wasn't on for Maddock there, so he kicks. Walker. Vainikolo. Here he goes. They love him to erupt.
Lippman's making good tackles, you know, one on Ungera, that was a beauty on Vainikolo.
Strokosz sacrifices himself as the halfback just to make sure that Mears can't get anywhere near that ball. Now he can do it, and he feeds to Lamb. Ungera, men outside, lovely little soft ball onto Allen, then Walker, and Simpson Daniels there. Oh, what a try! What a try!
Who else? Simpson Daniel with those golden touches of his. And wasn't it wonderful there from Ungera as well? The Fijian 7-a-side weight on the pass. He just decelerated. He pulled the Bath defence onto him, and Gloucester has gone potty. Wonderful play from the Fijian in the midfield. Watch this. The check, the weight, that's a fantastic pass, but there's work to be done. Simpson Daniel pins his ears back, and then the step off the right foot. If England don't pick him now, they never will. This guy is electric.
On the day of the season, we've seen one of the tries of the season. Fantastic finish from Simpson Daniel, but what about that pass in midfield from Ungera?
I just think in the win at Was, Ungera and Simpson Daniel were the key men. How important was that moment?
Lamb's conversion. Flag stay down, 8-3. Let's watch and enjoy again, unless you're a Bath fan, of course.
Cheeseman just doesn't have the pace to get there, and then Butch James goes very high, and Simpson Daniel gives a lie to people who says he lacks upper body strength. The balance no one has ever doubted, the appetite for tries no one has doubted. That is brilliant from Simpson Daniel. And Gloucester, they've been pummeled for 35 minutes and they have struck with a real hammer blow.
Barkley restarts. Gloucester with that killer touch as Delve tries to bring the ball away. It's Bath with the chances in this first half, Gloucester with the try. A rapier moment. Rawson and Lamb. That goes towards the shed. Teasing can come to an end. We won't have a quick line out. We need to see what has happened.
That's about 3 minutes ago you said that.
I've never teased for so long. Here it goes. Tom Boyce is going to go in for his second try. And the conversion was good as well. Every point matters for Wasps. But they're only just a point in front of Leeds as they approach half-time.
That was Leeds tackling that ensued. They went down there very, very loose.
Mears. Brown. Of course, it's Wasps eyeing Bath's spot now. Not really Gloucester's.
Off the ground, slowing it down.
Maths against them on that front. Always was from the first whistle. Penalty to Bath.
Man this side came in, off his feet, slowed the ball down.
Quinn still in there, courtesy of their efforts, sterling efforts all season, especially considering the way they went to sleep in the middle of the season. And their efforts at Welford Road today.
I'm just looking at 2-3 there. I mean, Wasp 2 tries coming up to half-time. One assumes, although it's crazy to assume anything this week, that Wasp should get 2 more tries, and if Bath lose this game, they will go to Wasp. That's how important this game is for them. Let's look at the latest scores.
Wasp just a point in front, as we know, at Headingley. Quinn's just a point better off at Welford Road. London Irish storming on at Edgeley Park.
Fingers and noses are the last things.
And then in the 2 that, if you like, don't matter, but have importance for different reasons. Richard Hill's final game, and then Worcester trying to build towards the Challenge Cup final against these men, Bath.
Well, the way Barkley has been kicking in the last month, you would say this is almost a formality, and Bath need it because they've put so much pressure on and find themselves hit from Simpson Daniel's hammer blow.
Well, they won't be whistling him next season, but for now he's wearing Bath colours, and he's got 3 points as we approach half-time. Can't say that Bath don't deserve the points. I suppose you only really deserve them if you cross that line, and it was the Gloucester defence in the shining light of this first half.
Exactly. Bath have been exhilarating at times in attack, but Gloucester have always had the answer required, and that's why it's 8-6. One of the better 8-6s we've seen in the season so far, coming up to half-time.
Here's Higgins, or took his eye off the ball there. He could see 1, 2, 3 Gloucester players about to make the tackle. Now, how important is this? Final play of the first half is going to go Gloucester's way.
But Bath in the last month have made very few unforced errors, and having just kicked a penalty to get to within 2, that's a shocker there from Higgins. I mean, as you say, I don't think he's worried about the Gloucester defenders coming. He's just looking to see if there's any space, and he loses concentration. And now you can see Simpson Daniel and Bolshaw on your right-hand side have got a lot of space. Very dangerous. Maddock's gone there. Bath have 3 defenders. If Gloucester can put a right hand on here and get Delve into Maddock, it's very dangerous.
time on. Coach.
Gloucester, their players, certainly their supporters, those who've seen it all, fed up of finishing top but not getting the trophy. They want to change it this year. Simpson Daniel again. Bolshaw.
It's a good scrum.
Leave it, still in, lads.
And it's still Gloucester ball. Lawson, Tittrell. Lawson quickly in again, scurried to get there. Lamb across the line. Allen, Vainicolo just wouldn't work for him.
Hard one to pick up there from Leslie Vainicolo. Gloucester were just a little more lateral than they would like there. Watch the body angles here. Across, and you can see Lamb tries to check it. And even if he takes that, there's cover coming there. That would have been one hell of a finish. Anthony Allen there just tries to draw the Bath defenders. Always a difficult one.
Cheers, mate.
You see we've gone over the 40-minute mark. So Mills just has to get this right now. Surely nothing more fancy than get it off the field here for Bath. Claessens is going to do just that. Right in front of the tunnel, they'll go down that tunnel now. Local bragging rights and so much more up for grabs here today, and what a first half we've seen.
Well, we've seen Bath going through their full repertoire of offloading. We've seen some wonderful defence from the likes of Bolshaw and Lawson, and then Gloucester, with far less attacking position and far less territorial advantage, strike with James Simpson Daniel. It is a fine second half in store in what has been a wonderful West Country derby.
Yes, there's the try scorer, finishing off a superbly created move in his end-of-season mayhem at the top of the Guinness Premiership table. But a traffic jam in the sun that nobody is complaining about. Half-time here. It's 8-6, and Simon and the boys in the studio will keep you in touch with what's happening around the country when you return after the break.
Here we have lot 401, the brass lantern clock. A particularly fine Jacobean timepiece, £4,000, sold.
Make time for the European Championship, WGC Invitational, US Women's Open and the Ryder Cup.
Truly sensational.
Make time this summer on Sky Sports.
Range Rover Sport by Land Rover.
Forget the lights, the crowds, the cameras, the clock. The posts are as high, the field the same size it's always been. We win, not for the world outside, but for the heart within.
Apply to join Club Together at Guinness.com for a chance to play at Twickenham.
Eliminate the hassle of jam label sheets with the Dymo Label Writer. Just select, click and print perfect labels from a PC or Mac for envelopes, packages, files and more. Choose your Dymo online.
Love rugby. Apply to join Club Together at Guinness.com.
In a fortnight's time, Europe very much back at the forefront. The Heineken Cup final will be live from the Millennium Stadium. It's Munster against Toulouse from 4:30 in the afternoon. Sky Sports 3, also in high definition on HD3. On the Sunday, as well as the silverware, the outcome of the Challenge Cup final will have a bearing on who makes it into the Heineken Cup as well. If Bath win that one, it will have repercussions. 6th place team in the Guinness Premiership would get in. So it's Bath Worcester 5-12 on the Sunday, 2 and HD2. Half time here though. Thrilling final afternoon of the regular season, the Guinness Premiership. Bath have dominated the first half in terms of possession, 70% in fact, but Gloucester's defensive effort has been monumental. They scored a cracker as well, courtesy of James Simpson-Daniel, 8-6 to the home side. Now, elsewhere, remember, Sale's fate in their own hands, but we know how dangerous London Irish can be when the ground is hard and fast, and they are punishing the home team. 12-0 at the break. That try from Mapasua, one from Topsy Ojo as well, and Sale in a little bit of trouble. Now, at Headingley, it was a fast start as well from Leeds, but Wasps have bounced back as well. A try for the home side, courtesy of Tom Biggs, 2 from Tom Voice for the visitors, and this one, just on the stroke of half-time, from Fraser Waters, made it 24-16. And Dean Richards as well, with a smile on his face at the break at Welford Road, because he's taken his side to face his old team. They've outscored them by 3 tries to 2. That one again on the stroke of half-time from Tom Williams. And it's 21-12 to the visitors. So, if it's to finish like that, the table would finish like this. Gloucester and Bath would have home semi-finals. Gloucester would be against Wasps, Bath against Harlequins. Sale would miss out but would qualify for Europe, and London Irish would pip Leicester into that possible position for the Heineken Cup as well. Gloucester would play Harlequins, sorry, Bath would play Wasps there. Boys, just in terms of what we've been discussing as far as this game is concerned, Gloucester's defensive effort has been magnificent.
Outstanding, and Bath has thrown the kitchen sink at Gloucester, and they've just withstood. There's some heroic defence out there. You know, Balshaw on Banahan, and you know, Simpson-Daniel to bring down Stevens. I mean, it was just awesome, and they're so tough out there. I mean, it really is a heavy contact, and you know, and then look. It's going well.
They ran hard and straight, didn't they, early on? Barkley, a couple of breaks. There's Lawson's trademark scrum half. In the middle, that's Lamon and Gira. And Gira against Lippman has been absolutely superb. Allen, who's had such a strong back end to the season. It's been so physical. It's needed to be. They have come hard. They've used big runners like Banahan. I mean, this tackle by Simpson-Daniel, he's like, have you got him? Have you got him? I mean, he's given it, I know it's Matt Stevens, but brilliant to ground it. And then, even better, he turns him over under the sight of his own sticks. It's been absolutely brilliant defensively from Gloucester.
In the position we've been in, it's not just seeing them, you can actually hear them as well out there. It's brutal stuff. But, I mean, he says so much. We talked about it, you talked about it before the game. You've got to smother Bath to stop them. Is that what they've been doing?
And Bath have been creating opportunities, but the defensive efforts by Gloucester to get back and cover and make those tackles and get up and make another one, you know, it's been a wonderful game, and the contact there, you know, it's scary.
When we're out there, and he goes, you know, it's just typical of Gloucester. They've had no real possession. They'll nick one. And they went up and they took their chance, and it was superb handling. Great work from Simpson-Daniel. They haven't had many chances. Ungira was in the middle of it at all. A wonderful delayed pass. The ball comes out wide, and if he gives this early, they defend it.
Beautiful soft pass. Brought another support player in, didn't he?
And the difference that we'd spotted from above, the depth of the Gloucester runners when they came onto it. Bath had got flat because of the pressure of the Gloucester defence, but there's good depth.
Yeah. Bath are getting flat too, because also, you know, I think the heat's taking its toll. And Gloucester just came through, you know, they've made a hell of a lot of tackles, 80-odd tackles in the first half, and then they get down there. They haven't had a lot of field position, but when they do, they're making it count.
And you can watch this man step, the acceleration, the go, the handoff, just absolutely in the form of his life.
I think Stuart was saying, wasn't he, in his commentary, if England ignore him now, you know, he's never going to get
How can you ignore him? I mean, he scores tries, he creates things for other people. He's always a danger. And now with, you know, Tyndall off the field there, he's, you know, he's in there and getting his hand on the ball a lot more often.
And he's probably slightly relieved he moved off the wing. He could stop marking that giant man, Banahan.
Matt Banahan, we go on about him every week, but just to see it up close, I mean, it's his leg power, isn't it, more than anything, in the tackle.
And the ball seems to follow him around. He's had a lot of touches on the ball in the half. Kickers are not chewing off as much territory, Will, because they're scared of it not going into touch, because he gets a big run-up. And this is what can happen.
On the back of some early ball, it's his leg drive. 1, 2, delve, that's another forward trying to take him down. 3 of them to take him down. Again, Balshaw gets a good tackling on a couple of occasions, but it's just his ability to get beyond the game line, to fight off the first tackler and keep moving has been absolutely
Look
superb.
at this. Stop that. I mean, this is a great tackle by Balshaw. I mean, it really is. Wonderful try savings. The Shed will be talking about that. He'll go up in the estimation of the Shed, won't he?
If Balshaw's occasionally they're not sure about him down here, but in front of the Shed today, he's pulled off too. He's picked up a couple of stitches. He's got a Terry Butcher headband. It's perfect for him.
Right, OK, let's get ourselves up to Edgeley Park. Dowie Morris is standing by ready to talk to us. What's happened to Sale, Dowie? 12-0 to London Irish at the break.
It's gone very, very quiet up here, Simon, to be honest. There's just one team in it. London Irish have come to Edgeley Park just destined to spoil Sale's party, and they've done it brilliantly. They've taken 2 tries, Topsy-Ojo intercepting the first, Mapasua getting a pass back inside. It was just great from Tani Thackenbauer. Just no discipline from Sale. They're just turning over too much ball. They're making breaks. Andy Vilk's making a few breaks. McAllister's making a few breaks. They're not basically having any structure on the game whatsoever. Irish have come here. They've played with fluidity. They've played with direction. They're kicking in the right places. And there's a certain football manager not further down the road than Mr. Alex Ferguson, very famous for the hairdryer treatment. I think Sant Andre is just plugging one in over there, mate.
Have you been able, even though there's massive headphones on, have you been able to keep an ear on what's happening on the bench? What have they been saying?
Very quiet. I'm literally next door to the London Irish bench, and they're delighted. They're throwing on instructions. When Sale did get a chance of a pass, they're telling to Topsy-Ojo. The communication is brilliant. Mike Catt is just sat in front of me with a water bottle. His smiles all over the place, and there's glum faces on the Sale bench, because I think they just thought that after last week they'd just turn up and it would happen. Well, it hasn't so far.
Are you expecting changes as far as Sale are concerned?
Massive change. Yeah, the line-out isn't going well. I think they're going to have to sort that out on their own, but definitely in the scrum. We had Bruno and Sheridan and Ifin Roberts, the big lump from Wales. I think they will come en masse, I would honestly say, because the Sale front row has creaked. Like I said, the line-out has creaked. It's gone, well, it imploded literally just before the whistle in the first half. Things are not going well. Everybody thought it was going to be a party atmosphere. It's like a morgue at the moment.
OK, thanks very much for the moment, Dowie. More from Dowie, as we said, throughout the course of the afternoon. So Sale in trouble, Leicester in trouble as well. It is panning out, isn't it, to being one of the most exciting afternoons we've ever had at the conclusion of the regular season of the Guinness Premiership. And here at Kingsholm, we've had a terrific first half as well. Gloucester absorbing so much pressure and then striking as well just before the break. It is 8-6 to the home team. Can Bath keep up this incessant pressure? We'll find out after the break.
At Magners, we've long understood the importance of making time.
And I ask you, friend, what's a fella do? 'Cause her hair's black and her eyes are blue. Oh, and I lost my heart to a Galway girl. Hey.
Magners Irish Cider. Time dedicated to you.
Wondering how to make more of your savings? Well, here's another idea from Abby. A super savings account that gives you a fixed rate of 9.1% over a year when you put the same amount into a fixed term investment that keeps the money you put in absolutely safe. For a range of savings ideas, call 0800 80 80 80 or visit your local branch. Abby, more ideas for your money.
The new Citroën C5, unmistakably German. Made in France.
Sky Movies Premiere, brought to you by Viera, Full HD from Panasonic.
Starting tonight for 7 days, one director tells both sides of the same story.
All I did was try not to get shot. in 2 acclaimed films. Clint Eastwood's Oscar-winning Flags of Our Fathers and Letters from Iwo Jima, starting tonight on Sky Movies Premiere and Premiere HD.
Things getting exciting in the Super 14 as well, that competition reaching a conclusion. Stormers against the Waratahs at 6 o'clock this evening on Sky Sports 3. In the meantime, though, and the last day, the regular season of the Premiership, 8-6 Gloucester at half-time. Let's hear from their injured fullback, Ollie Morgan. He's talking to Graham Simmons.
Simon, thank you very much. Ollie, obviously pleased to be in front at half-time. A little relieved as well?
Yeah, I mean, you know, obviously with Bath, you know, the likes of Ollie Barkley and Matt Banhan have been really threatening out wide. So I think, you know, we're lucky for a few good tackles from James Simpson-Daniel to be going in at 8-6 at half-time. So, you know, these first 20 minutes are really, really important for Gloucester.
71 tackles we had Gloucester making in the first half hour of the game. You can't continue to defend at that level for the rest of the game, can you?
No, I mean, I think, you know, obviously our back row do make a lot of tackles in most games that we've played this season. And, you know, obviously the likes of Matt Stevens carrying and things like that, it's difficult. It's difficult.
Are you playing the game plan that you saw Dean Ryan put on the chalkboard this week?
Oh, definitely. I mean, we've made the main aim this season was especially to stop the Bath offload. I think we've done that quite well. So hopefully the first 20 minutes we'll hopefully get a score.
And James Simpson-Daniel, yet again, after last week, he was a match winner. Certainly the 40 minutes so far, he has been one. If England carry on ignoring him, are people just going crazy?
You know, James obviously had an outstanding season this year, and I think, you know, all due respect, I think he should possibly go on that, you know, that New Zealand tour. But, you know, if he keeps playing the way he's playing at the moment, you know, like you say, it will be very hard to disregard him.
Thank you for your time. Enjoy the second half. Thank you, Ollie.
So here comes that second half then. Of course, James Simpson-Daniel, one of the nominees for the Players' Player of the Year, along with Ollie Barkley of Bath. And that man is having a storming end to the season, Akapusi Ungera. It's probably also worth making the point, it's about a point, that Gloucester in their last 33 Guinness Premiership matches have always secured at least one match point, and they knew that's all they needed today to guarantee a home semi-final. But they're looking for much more. They're looking for top spot, and they're looking for the boost of a win against their local and title rivals. And Bath, well, they're looking over their shoulder. What Worcester doing against Leeds Carnegie at Headingley. But only trail by 2 points. Turn it right around. Here comes Vainikolo. Higgins and Brown needed all their strength to try and stop him. Lawson, who is the scrum half. Maddock making sure that the referee knew that he called for the mark.
Maddock in good position yet again. Takes the mark there. Andrew Higgins had the dubious pleasure of confronting Leslie Vainikolo. Big, strong man. You just sense sometimes you just need to do more than just run hard and straight. Bath taking a leaf out of Gloucester's books there and ganging 2-on-1, and it was very interesting to listen to Ollie Morgan at half-time. From the start of the game, you saw Gloucester throw all sorts of numbers defensively at Matt Stevens, and I must say, it's interesting now with Stevens off, Bath's attacking game is going to have to be restructured, because Duncan Bell is a very good scrummager, but he ain't no Matt Stevens when it comes to carrying. And we've seen the threat of Stevens, and Bath need to really think again and plot their game, because they cannot play their little one-out offloading game with Mears and Stevens, with Stevens gone.
Big worries for Bath on that front, Matt Stevens. And also for Gloucester with Mike Tyndall, who went off with an ankle injury in the first half.
I must say, Martin Johnson watching this will be worried. Tyndall being talked in dispatches as not only outside centre but as captain, and I think Matt Stevens is as important a member of the future England setup as anyone, because of what he gives the team, not just as a scrummager but with his carrying game.
Bath going, looking for Barkley. Walker, and who replaced him. Had his moments this season, Willie Walker. A little barge there from Barkley as he went past. Referee's just given the free kick for the mark to Butch James. In Bolshaw. Ooh, that's gone very high indeed. Bolshaw is tempted to go all the way and through on the tackle. And Claessen's made himself the boss there and did very well, the South African international.
Physically, he's not a big man, but boy, is he a commanding presence in this Bath team, Michael Claessen's. That's not a great kick. They mustn't keep feeding Gloucester because Gloucester will thrive on the counter.
Lamb to Vainikolo. And it goes to Anthony Allen. All the talk of Ollie Barkley and how he's going to be part of the Gloucester midfield next season. Anthony Allen, who has hardly missed a game this season. The man who will be fighting for that place, but also sharing it. You can't just play the amount of games that Allen's played every season. It's Ryan Lamb. Lawson. Walker coming in to stand off. That's a nice pass on to Anthony Allen. He's cutting back inside. And that was a very important challenge from Cheeseman. Went quite high to make it. And he didn't, it was a try. Still might be. Here's Nick Wood. Lawson caught. Bath sniff it. And they get the put in now. It is the 22 of turnovers in this match.
Famoa Tuainu does brilliantly there. He came from behind, the crowd were upset.
He was on his feet when he came through the middle.
But Dave Pearson absolutely right. It's a lovely missed ball to Anthony Allen, who's had a very strong game yet again. And Cheeseman, he was off balance, just about got him.
Amazing contest happening at Welford Road. Johnny Murphy has gone into the corner and celebrates with the fans. Conversion was missed. 17-21. Leicester and Harlequins fighting it out to try and slip into the fourth spot. Leicester also with Europe on their mind, the champions of this competition. Could they exit today? Well, they're certainly starting the second half in the best possible way there. Other scores: London Wasps leading against Leeds Carnegie by 8. Confirmation of that Welford Road score. Still London Irish in front by 12. And then to Milton Keynes, never said that before.
There's a mark. Come up to it.
Apart from for shopping. And Worcester Newcastle completes the set.
It's a nightmare scenario for Sale, isn't it? Leicester now with 3 tries and Harlequins winning. It's going against Sale. They need to do something very quickly in this game.
By the way, latest on Matt Stevens, it's a precaution why he went off. He's had that knee iced. We saw that. No risk being taken. James, but Bath still in this fight for a home semi-final place could prove to be the key factor of their season. Walker, that's brilliant first. And almost second, nearly got away a second time. Maddock to Claessen's, James. South African boys really enjoying the Premiership and all that it offers. I love this competition. Banahan fields the long kick from Walker. He's off and running, and Bolshaw already wearing a bandage. What he's done in this match. And to make another big tackle, Mears goes up the touchline. Famoa Tuainu over halfway. Flag didn't go up. Banahan's there. Mears still kept alive. They do it so well. Cheeseman onto James. Now Borthwick goes over halfway. James again, bit of space now out wide maybe for Maddock. He's taking on Simpson Daniel, who makes a fine tackle, but it's a good offload to Higgins and Brown. Simpson Daniel's going at him again. Strokosz is in there.
This is blinding stuff from Bath and great defence again.
Also from Gloucester, who make these tackles consistently throughout the game. Now it's the high ball. Banahan goes up. Brucock finds Lippmann. Tries to inject the pace again. Borthwick looking for a bit of space. Bortolami, Bolshaw hanging on to him. Gloucester hanging on in a way. And even though they lead, they've been tested defensively throughout this match. They've passed the test so far. Here's Brown. Another tackle from Strokosz, and then Simpson Daniel. Barkley picks up, can't get away. And it's the penalty. What defence! The best defensive performance of the season we're witnessing here.
Well, it has to be, because Bath are just moving this point of attack so quickly. Butch James, short balls, missed passes, high kicks for Matt Banahan. Bath are asking every question possible of Gloucester, and still they're coming up with the answers.
Changes here, front row changes. We see Azam, we see Dickinson. We lose Wood, we lose Tithrell. We go towards the shed.
Another psychological blow that might have been for Gloucester. They haven't won the war this afternoon. Another small battle that their defence won when you felt Bath had to do something there. Great defence.
Bortolami's win at the line-out. Lamb, Ungera in midfield, bouncing off the first tackle, nearly breaking through, another two. New man Dickinson just couldn't take it. It's been knocked on. So Bath will put into this scrum, and we're hearing of another score at Headingley, and it's a very important one as well, because it is a bonus point score for Wasps. It's Rafael Ibanez getting away from the last tackle, and a flamboyant finish. It's 31-16, and Wasps have their bonus point. And look, Wasps, because of that, into second place as it stands.
That's the inevitable game of the day, isn't it? Wasps getting that win against Leeds. Now Bath know what they have to do. They have to win this game, and somehow they've got to puncture this Gloucester defence. And I must say, one of the subplots, I came into this game looking forward to Lippman against Ungera, and did you see Ungera blast through Michael Lippman the last time on the gain line? The Gloucester Fijian is winning that battle, and that is keeping Gloucester in this game. And now they get a free kick.
For feeding at the scrum, and Lawson, the Gloucester scrum half, takes it quickly. Dickens, Strokosz, Nieto, Lawson, Lamb. Here comes Azam, popular figure here. Doesn't always get his throwing into the line outright, but he's terrific in the loose. Here goes Vainikolo. They try and stand their ground. Vainikolo is turning into a wrestler there. Knock on from Lawson, right in front of Dave Pearson.
Long Bath arm there. Now here you can watch Ungera and his strength. Lippman lines him up, and the England 7 is just smashed off the ball as Gloucester maintain momentum there. And what physicality in this game. Higgins, one of the most physical Englishmen, up against Vainikolo. Look at that. And fair dues to Higgins. He does not give an inch, but he can't stop Vainikolo, who fights to stay on his feet.
Half an hour, just over, of the regular season left. And still, we don't know the top four.
Crouch, touch, pause, engage.
Barkley. He's going to land in space. Ball short. Banahan with the tackle. Walker. Banahan nearly with the charge down. Bounced like a fencer there.
Oh, Guerra.
On Barkley, in all kinds of trouble.
Sorry, lads, it's Winston.
Was coming back on Bath's side.
Ryan Lamb is giving the touch judge on the far side all sorts of abuse, along with 10,000-12,000. Barkley in superb form this season, but he's against an irresistible object there. And Guerra's leg pump in their defence is superb. Allen got hold of him first, and then the Fijian just smashes him backwards. That must be the second time we've seen that 6-7 metre carry of an attacker. And this is why Gloucester have to make these tackles, because if Bath keep the ball off the ground and they keep it away from the Gloucester men, then they're very hard to stop. That was Ungera on Grucock, by the way. But this ability to just fizz the ball around Borthwick, Grucock, all the forwards prepared to do it, but when Gloucester get a chance to see a blue, black and white jersey, they hit hard.
Claessens, James, switching on Bolshaw again. All about the bounce here, and Banahan's coming on Bolshaw. That is very brave from Bolshaw, and he's still looking for more. He would have heard the winger thundering.
He's answering a few questions today about his commitment. Ian Bolshaw playing very well.
Must have felt like he'd gone on safari there, Bolshaw. Slice from Lamb. Good ball here for Bath. Good work from Bolshaw.
Well, these kicks landing outside the 22 are problematic because of the bounce, and Bolshaw has to take the full force of Banahan here. This is high motion. Just accelerate this to real time and put yourself in Ian Bolshaw's position. Ow, I can feel the bruise swelling. No. Play really well, Bolshaw, though. Not flash today. He's made no errors, and when he's had to do his physical stuff in defence, he's done it really well.
Against the side that he used to score tries for versus Gloucester.
Bath are coming at them again in terms of territory and possession, aren't they? Coming hard at Gloucester.
And they can change it right around at the top. They know that. Just one score. Mears. Claessens running into his own man, Grucock. Nothing deliberate about it. So it won't be a penalty, just the scrum.
Good victory there for Gloucester. And you just start to see the influence of Stevens being off the park there. Lee Mears carried once, but Bath didn't have anyone else to go. And if Gloucester can force Bath to go wide initially, it makes it an awful lot easier defensively, not having to face in.
It's gone eerily quiet around the country. We had a day like this a few seasons ago, didn't we? It was down at the bottom of the table. It was exciting, but this one feels so much more positive.
Well, I think for the first time we've got 4 teams going into the playoff, all with serious pretensions, and I would think of 3 of them, these 2 teams and probably Wasps, are all very live contenders to win it. Very live contenders. The standard of the Premiership, I think, as this year 2008 has rolled on, has got higher and higher. We're seeing some very competitive and very classy rugby.
A friend of mine who doesn't really know his rugby that well asked me last week, he said, which team has the stars in the Premiership? And I said, all of them.
Yeah. Well, if you're including Tom Biggs, you're right.
Let's talk about his club. Leeds Carnegie against London Wasps. Sticky start for Wasps in that match, but they've got to the bonus point mark now, so looks like they're going to end on 70 points. Harlequins still just in front against Leicester. Sale can't get a point. They can't buy a point there against London Irish at Edgeley Park. Bristol on Richard Hill's final day in the Premiership and rugby in general, lead by 5. Richard Hill of Saracens, that is. And Worcester, well, they power on, 37-10. So let's consider the table quickly before this scrum. At the moment, Gloucester play Harlequins here at Kingsholm. Wasps are at home to Bath.
And one more try for Leicester. If they beat Harlequins, they jump them both into 4th place.
One more score for Bath here. And suddenly they're leaping Gloucester.
3 teams now fighting for home advantage, 3 scrapping for their Premiership survival. We at last have a divide in this season.
Delve caught by Claessens and Lippmann. Still manages somehow to fall the right way to his men. Did well in the end, the Gloucester number 8. Lawson's kick, Banahan. Well, he's caught it somehow.
That's fine, not now.
He had to pick it out of his pocket. Mears does well to get a pass in there to Daniel Brown.
Again, it changes the point of attack. That's what Gloucester don't want.
Mears again. I'm sure Declan Kidney isn't aware that Daniel Brown's eligible for Ireland. The star performer at the end of this season, along with Farmatoinu in that back row. There is Brown off the floor. James, well, Bolshaw nearly got a very important boot on that. That gone through, and it would have been an almighty chase. It's still on for Gloucester. Lamb wisely assesses the pass was not on there, went for the kick. Maddock, what a pick-up that is. Spinning out of the first tackle, and then that man Simpson Daniel again on hand.
Physicality and so much skill here.
Barkley. Beautifully reeled in by Walker. And a beautiful shape on that kick as well. That was high quality.
Well, Willie Walker comes off the bench for Gloucester and just gives them solidity, composure at fullback. He's a really good squad player. He's played very well all season. He's not a frontline star, but this guy really does make sure the 14 guys in front of him think we're all right. Walker's behind us.
Luke Narroway's coming on. He's replacing Gareth Dells, who gives the home supporters applause back as they let him know what they feel about his performance today. So Narroway for Dells. International replaces international. England for Wales. Mears of England.
He's doing Stevens' work for him at the moment.
From Clyde, I always feel that if you're building an extension, Mears would be a very valuable man to have. But maybe not at the moment. I think he's down on the floor clutching his shoulder, so there's another worry for Bath. They've lost Stevens earlier in the match. Here's Bolshaw. Maddock and James. Looking for that attacking position. Challenge that Gloucester ball, but Gloucester take it quickly. Lamb. Claessen's 2 goes. James. Let's get rid of it. But Gloucester are offside.
Within 10 metres.
Just looking at Lee Mears at the moment. He does not look good at the moment. He's clutching his shoulder, and with Stevens off, Bath cannot afford to lose Mears. 2 of the most influential attacking players in English club rugby, even though they're front rowers. This was Lee Mears, who has upped his work rate incredibly since Matt Stevens went off. Burrowing low, and he just must take a blow as he goes down. He's through the tackle of Nieto, as he so often does. He keeps going. And again, very influential, and that's where he's going to catch it, maybe on the AC joint. He's off though. Dixon on.
Don't know the way he's holding himself there. Peter Dixon comes on. Underneath that hat is a great competitor.
Very good competitor, but Bath have lost 2 of their most important, influential players now from their front row. That's got to be a boost for Gloucester, who of course have lost Mike Tyndall themselves.
And Bath at the moment facing the prospect of an away semi-final. Let's confirm that. And you can see from that table what a win would do for Bath. As opposed to the defeat, narrow one, but defeat and bonus point that they have at the moment. Wasps already having secured their bonus point. And we're hearing other scores at Headingley. No, Johnny Hepworth has got a try back for Leeds. I think Wasps has scored since then, but we'll confirm that in a second.
It's a rarity. Bath losing a line out. Gloucester competing really hard there.
Newman Narroway. Ungera. Lawson. Lamb. And James was there trying to charge down, but Lamb manages to avoid the opposing fly half. Maddock for touch. Lamb again. Getting a little bit cagey. Barkley. Trudge back for Vainikolo.
Well, he's not a great kicker. That's a very clever kick from Ollie Barkley.
Well, he's going to give it to somebody else to kick, and that man is Willie Walker. He was a long way from the white line, but he got it there.
He got Butch James as well there. It's a good pass from Vainikolo. He didn't trust his boot. Walker from the centre of the pitch does very well.
So I told you about the Hepworth try. Joe Ward almost immediately has got one back for London Wasps. Here it comes. Well, here comes Ward. There he is, short range. And the score changes to that, 21-38.
That one's put to bed then, isn't it? That one is definitely put to bed. There are three that aren't.
Lippman, James, Higgins. And it's taken us a while to get the word definitely, but eventually. Lawson, Lamb, another clever kick. He's mixing his game very well, isn't he, Stuart?
This is not dissimilar to how Gloucester played against Wasps. They got a lead early on, and then Ryan Lamb dropped deeper. He kicked deep and just said, come on, what have you got? Butch James is trying to force things. The opposite fly half at the moment is a lovely inside ball. He's always done that. But Ryan Lamb playing a more traditional game at fly half. As I said at the start, he's matured a lot. I mean, this is not the greatest kick you'll ever see, but his forwards, after all the tackling they've done and defending, will say, thank you, Ryan, just keep us going that way. It's not quite as well oiled without Lee Mears. Drewcock had to work hard for that line outtake.
Too much there from Gloucester.
Cannot pull that man in.
Dave Pearson with the explanation.
Can't push them off.
Interference on the half-back. Mears holds his shoulder. Stevens hurt in the knee.
And Barkley holds his nerve. Solid. Real pressure there on that Bath line out. A superb take there. Borthwick and Drewcock, you know, are such sterling competitors, but they do miss the two front row offloaders who create space. They create avenues for them to run into, and that's not happening now.
Gloucester, one loss here at Kingsholm in their last 22 in this league. Cheeseman, that's the size of Bath's task here. It would be the size of the task of any side who played here in the semi-final as well. Clausen did well to free that ruck. Lippman, that's good hands. Bolshaw very importantly gets in. As they look for Banahan again, Strokosz. Very acrobatic the way he kept that ball alive. But again, Ian Bolshaw receives the acclaim there of Strokosz, and so he should.
Makes his decision, doesn't he? He decides to go for the intercept and he gets it. I must say, Nieto really clobbered Butch James off the ball. You'll see it now. Watch this. Bang! Butch James, not known for his pacifist intentions, does very well there.
It had been quiet at Welford Road, not so now. And it's Tom Williams who's going in for his second try of the afternoon. Harlequins against the champions. Leicester now slipping to 7th as it stands at the moment. Harlequins equaling their best ever Premiership performance way back in 98-99 if they finish 4th. But now, of course, that leads to a semi-final place.
Well, that means there's no simmering of civil war at Leicester. It means there's out-and-out civil war now. Something will happen. There will be blood in the boardroom.
Well, it's all gone, hasn't it?
Yeah.
The title, their European qualification.
The spirit at the moment. Plenty of that here.
But not gone yet. Lawson, Lamb, Azam. A big bear out there, Azam. been knocked on. It's advantage not coming back, says Dave Pearson.
Excuse me, you're not captain, just back off, please. Thank you. Knock on, scrum, Bath ball. Bath 13, please, replacement. Bath 13!
Going to make a change here. Alex Crockett's coming on. It's Tom Cheeseman who's going off. As Bath do that, we'll call in at Headingley again for a Fourie try. Andre Fourie has gone in for the home side.
He's played very well for Leeds all season, the flanker Fourie.
Coach, touch, pause, engage.
We'll stand by definitely.
I'm standing by definitely there. I think if Wasps needs to score, they will. It's be worrying for though. Again, you know, Wasps are conceding so many points. They're averaging over 23 points a game in the last 10 games, and they're not going to win this Premiership against defences like Gloucester's and Bath's unless they could tighten up considerably.
And on that subject, yeah, Gloucester had been struggling defensively.
Yeah.
Certainly in bigger games. Not so today. Barkley. Banahan running onto it. Is he? Ball short. Well, he's made another important challenge, just enough to put Banahan off his immense stride. It's been a superb tussle between the two wingers. Bolshaw, who didn't start the match as a winger, moving into that position with the loss of Tyndall. Simpson Daniel into centre. Barkley, Bath's inside centre. And the Gloucester fly half Lamb. Quite happy again to put boot to ball.
Gloucester mindset definitely changed now, Miles. They've decided, they're saying to Bath, come on then, win it from deep. Here you can see Bath, not for the first time now, resorting to going for the aerial option of Banahan, 6'7", so hard to stop. But, you know, Gloucester are aware of that. Bolshaw's quick, he knows he's not going to get away, and then Simpson Daniel is the first man there. And Gloucester now have definitely decided to play territorial rugby. Bath, their offloading game is not as dangerous, they are tiring.
Dixon, James, Barkley, Maddock just got a little bit tempted by what was on. Didn't take the ball.
A lot of space for a chip here.
With Maddock pulled up and out of position. Strokosh. Well, it's gone a little bit slow now for Gloucester. Too slow. So to Welford Road again. Ever-changing moods there. Jordan Crane, try. Converted 2. Leicester 24. Harlequins 28. Bonus point. Takes Leicester back in the 6th. Irish were sitting in that 6th place, which could lead to European qualification next season.
And they're one try from going above Sale and Harlequins back into the playoffs.
That's the most important point. Here's Lamb to Simpson Daniel. Wasn't held. Lawson. Bortolami. Questions about his form when he returned. That's hit the referee. The whistle will go. Gloucester to put into the scrum, but he got back from the Six Nations. But Bortolami had the leadership, and he certainly led from the front today.
He has. I must say, against Munster, he had a poor game. Gloucester were beaten on the gain line. Physically, they were out-muscled. Look at that. Simpson Daniel now is taking on Banahan, and he's getting the better of him. It's sort of symptomatic of how Gloucester have just stood up to this very physical Bath team, this very imaginative Bath team, and said, we're not taking a backward step. And that has been what has enabled their defence to control this game.
Arroway and Lawson. Lawson looking for support. Simpson Daniel had gone away, and then it all went away from Lawson. The initial error, not being able to locate the man that he wanted, led to the error on the kick. And those tackles now, 120 not out on a day that feels like a cricket day.
Yeah, but in this second half, you can see Bath have made more tackles, and I think you cannot underestimate the importance of Bath's front row offloading game, and it's central to the fact that Bath are not looking the threat close to contact that they were.
Dixon again. No, it's not quite as well oiled, is it, without Mears? Hacked on by James, still might work. Banham was going through, but Lawson, this is very inviting for Walker, but it's back. It's back, says Dave Pearson. Whistle's gone. The roar indicates that 80% of the crowd didn't hear it. And they're still celebrating this try. There's no try.
The awful moment of reality dawns, and David Pearson is the most unpopular man in Gloucestershire. Berkeley Castle lock him up, throw away the keys. The locals of Gloucestershire are very upset, and the Bath fans want to knight him. But it's a knock-on, it's an accidental one. As you say, Dixon overthrows it, James comes through with a kick, Lippman gets the ball, there's a knock-on there, and then the pick-up from Lamb. He's absolutely right. The slightest of knock-on, but Dave Pearson right on the money.
Yeah, he's going off. He's going off.
Player was running backwards, but the ball was going forwards. Talking forwards, there's Nick Wood back on. Dickinson, Alistair Dickinson has gone off. We've got Gareth Cooper there as well, wearing 20. He's replacing Rory Lawson at scrum half for Gloucester.
How about the defensive shift that Rory Lawson has put in today for Gloucester? He did it last week against Wasps. He's done it here against Kingsholm. It's very rare in Gloucester's heartland that they have to defend to stay in front at 70 minutes, but they've had to today, and they've done it brilliantly.
Peter Short for Danny Grewcock as the coaches try and play the cards at the end, the fresh players to make the difference. That try would have made such a difference. Brown to Claessen's. Higgins. Maddock there on his shoulder. And around his waist to be more accurate. Hauling him forward.
Rook. Stay.
Claessen's James. This is Lippman. Of the way Lippman explodes into the line. James is going for the drop goal. Well, not his best.
Well, the Gloucester team will be delighted because they now know that Bath are starting to think about the option of drop goal penalty. Not his best, it was possibly your most generous comment of the month.
Francois Steyn, for that one moment, would have been the better signing than Butch James, although Butch James and Michael Claessen's, what a contribution they've made. And for James, all on the back of a World Cup winners' medal.
Just thinking, as Bath were lumbering forward, there's a bit of snap gone out of their game. I think they're tiring. Bath's mindset now is starting to think about 3 points to win this game.
To salvage that home semi-final. For the moment, they're away at Wasps next week. Well out of his 22, Walker has got that horribly wrong. And he's given Bath the chance, if they're thinking about a drop goal, getting much closer to the post.
Well, I was just thinking, Ollie Barkley started to kick very loosely. There's a lot of tiredness out there now. Willie Walker, who has been so calm, so sanguine all day, makes a howler of an error. Now, can Peter Dixon get his line out right? Borthwick's mate Grewcock is off, but Peter Short is a giant, but he doesn't have Grewcock's spring. Tail.
And all the way through, Narroway. Lippman couldn't hold it, through the fingers. Cooper. Walker to get this one right. Knew exactly where his 22 was. And knew exactly what he had to do.
Well, yeah, since Lee Mears has gone off with that shoulder injury, Peter Dixon, who is very quick to get to the touchline, has lost 3 lineouts. It's Bath's foundation normally. And Michael Lippman's done nothing wrong. The lifters have done nothing wrong. Dixon, he can't control the adrenaline here. He's overthrowing. and it has undermined Bath. It's a shift in sand for their pack here.
Borthwick shouts the order to Dixon. Arms and hands everywhere. It's short at the tail. Borthwick again. Bath a man down. It's Brown on the floor. He needs treatment. Famatoinu's slow off the ground as well, but it's Bath ball. Barkley thumped that. It's a solid hit. And it was always going into touch. We've got a hat-trick at Headingley. It's for Tom Voice, former Bath man. Some years ago, though now. Definitely was to win.
Hey, that was definitely was to win 9 months ago. Still, 73 points is a good memory for the Leeds fans to go out on.
And Gloucester to win a trophy this season.
It's a good game here. Let's just say that the beating Ross away, if they can hang on against Bath, they will give themselves the self-belief that they really have lacked for a long time. And that might change things a bit.
And you feel it all hinges in a way on the next 7 minutes.
I do. I think it could be a real blow for Gloucester if they lose this one after all their defence. Because remember, they are at home at Kingsholm here. Twickenham would be different. I think Gloucester need to hang on here.
Cooper. Bolsher on the chase now. He's been doing the tackling on Banahan, but that time in a much more attacking role. But Higgins has found a way through. And of course, if it starts to break up, that will suit Bath. They just need that one score. Higgins. Great target for his team. Clarkson says he's not coming, but he's not getting the penalty. It's gone to Gloucester.
Well, Gloucester have won all of those 50-50 contests, and they've got a few of the penalties. Gloucester are getting there quicker. It broke up for Higgins. He meanders through there, and he's thinking, where's the support? Bath just aren't as quick as they have been. And there you can see Gloucester very fast in. Normally Bath would have men either side, all sorts of options. They don't. Gloucester get there first, and they negate another dangerous moment.
Less than 6 minutes of normal time. Azam throws, and Strokosz takes. Full of muscle, his performances, Strokosz. Barging into his own man, Azam, disgusted with that, but it's a put into Bath. So, Headingley, that's the situation there. Wasp with a bonus point. They'll finish with 70 points then. It's so tight at Leicester. They can zoom back up to fourth, or into fourth. Trailing at the moment, 2 Harlequins. London Irish, they're thinking Europe. Sale, what a miserable day. No points at home on a day when they could have secured a semi-final place. Tighter again as Saracens try to do it for Richard Hill right at the end and get the win to sign off his career. And Worcester thumping Newcastle. Barkley. Cooper's hanging on to him, but Barkley's gone all that way. Clarson's short. Allen's hurt right on the shoulder again. Higgins. Famatoinu. Allen's in real pain here. Down below us. Extra man for Bath. Maddock, Nieto, that's a good tackle. Needed a bit of help, but he certainly put it in for his side there with a long stretch. Crockett, the replacement. Bell, Clarsons, James, little chip in behind by Nicolo, trying to turn him. Oh, where's that ball going to land? Barkley's going to pick it up. Vinocola comes in and makes a tackle, but it's off to Higgins. And Allen's in all kinds of trouble on this side as the extra man on the wing, and Bath must have seen it. But it breaks down in midfield. Bolshaw was totally exposed there. Bath had 2 or 3 men out wide. You can see Allen there just in the corner of the shot. falling to the ground on one knee. What a chance.
Well, Alex Crockett should have put width on that ball there, because Gloucester looked as if they were finally on their knees there. Peter Short colliding with Allen, and that's why he suffered big hit. Allen has missed nothing all day and he still wants to stay on there. But after that, Bath had an opportunity, and there have been precious few of those in this second half. Will that be a last chance for them? The ball broke to Barkley. Higgins kept it there, and you felt now this was a chance, because Allen's on his knees out there, and at that moment Crockett's ball has to go wide. Bolshaw, to his credit, has stepped up. You see him waving his arms around. He's making it a dangerous pass. And once again, I think the decision-making of Ian Bolshaw has bailed out his team and his mate Anthony Allen, who has been little short of heroic defensively.
Bolshaw making it a difficult pass, but also screeching for help there.
Yeah. You don't think it's going to boil down to an Ollie Barkley penalty for Bath to win it or not against his club of next season?
When he had the ball on the far side as part of that attack, I wondered whether it would be Barkley.
No, that would be too melodramatic.
Free kick at the moment. The Chips stacking with Gloucester.
In Bath, starting to have to think about a couple of injuries in their front row and a trip down the M4 to Wickham and Wasps.
A reenactment of one of the games of the season, which of course took place at the Rec, not the meeting over the holiday period over Christmas, when Bath decided to rest players. Has that come back to haunt them?
Well, I think you've got to manage your resources, and I understand why Bath did that.
Because it paid dividends against Gloucester in their very next match. Penalty to Gloucester. But here and now, Steve Meehan is going to have to mastermind a victory at Adams Park in the semi-final. Gloucester are here at Kingsholm against Harlequins. But still time before those whistles go around the country.
Now, Gloucester kept the ball for about 5 minutes against Wasps last week, so it'll be a minor miracle if this one emerges more than a metre or so from that collapsed mess of bodies there. Gloucester have control right now.
Ungera. We have some hot news coming in from Leicester. We'll be with that any moment. But here, with under a minute to go, Gloucester running down the clock to get that #1 position again. Cooper happy to let somebody else play at scrum half because nobody's going to pass it out wide. It's staying as tight as it could possibly be. All in front of the shed, they're loving this. And now the noise starts to reverberate around the ground. This place is shaking. 10 seconds and counting. They know it's going to be top spot again. And this will be 3 in 6 years. Now, can they make it a first Premiership title? It's certainly Kingsholm for the semi-final. It's finished here. Gloucester 8, Bath 6. But who will Gloucester play?
Well, whoever they play now, Gloucester are going to be formidable opponents. Coming off the back of that away win at Adams Park last week, the win against informed Bath, based upon a heroic defence and no little intelligence, gives them a lot of self-belief. Bath will have a very difficult trip to Wasps now, but Gloucester are at home, and Gloucester will now fancy their chances.
Let's whiz off then to Welford Road. And it's Leicester scoring a try. It's Vandel again. And it was converted. Leicester, with a bonus point win, would have 64 points. Sale trailing by 12 virtually all afternoon, it seems, to London Irish. 63 will be their final total. Leicester are shooting back into the playoff picture, and Gloucester await.
I must say, just coming back to this game now today and what has been, I thought Ngera was fantastic again for Gloucester, but in a game where defences were on top, James Simpson-Daniel had that moment of magic in attack, and with Tyndall, the key man in defence, off, he went to 13. He did a brilliant defensive job. He saved one try. He marshalled Gloucester with Anthony Allen. He scored the try. He's with Graham Simmons. James Simpson-Daniel, our Guinness Premiership man of the match.
Amazing scenes here, amazing scenes at Welford Road as well. Let's hear from our man of the match, James Simpson-Daniel, with Graham.
Miles, thank you very much. James, they say defence wins matches, wins titles. Was that proof of it today?
It was a tough battle, and I think we gave a lot of penalties away first half. We said at half-time we can't give them away. Look at the scoreline. It was only a few points in it, and we knew if we gave a kickable penalty away, Barks would kick it. Yeah, all credit to the guys. We defended very well. We blew a few opportunities, made a few errors in defence, but we'll take the win. It's a great win for us.
47 minutes is an awful long time to hang on to a 2-point lead. How comfortable were you and how nervous were you getting towards the end?
Yeah, well, we're looking at the clock every 20 seconds just to see if it's ticking away, and yeah, there's always a chance someone could get a drop goal or we give a penalty away or a missed tackle, and then they capitalise and score. So as I said, it's a great win for us. We'll enjoy the fact that we've had a very consistent season, and then obviously playoffs next week.
It's the third time in 6 years you've come top of the league at the end of the regular season, James. Third time lucky in terms of going on and converting that?
Well, it'd be great, wouldn't it? We hope so. We keep on saying that we think we're getting better as a side, and then we lose a big game in the season somewhere. But
you're winning the big games now. That's the point.
We're starting at the last few games. We're not getting ahead of ourselves. There was still the likes of Munster at home, and even losing to Wasps EDF earlier in the season down there after leading by 20 points. But yeah, it's a great result, and we need to make sure that we can stand up now and perform when it's semi-final, final time.
You're the Guinness Premiership man of the match. Many congratulations, James, to you and to your team. Well done.
Thanks, Graham. So Gloucester victors here. Let's go to Welford Road, where Leicester have got that try, and they are putting the ball out, and they are going into a semi-final slot. They've robbed Quinn's right at the death.
And what's Richard Cockrell going to say? He said if we get to the playoffs it'll be a miracle and we're not going to beat anyone. Where does Richard Cockrell go after this result?
Dean Richards, ex of Leicester of course, unable to take his Quinn side through into the semi-finals. But how close did they come? Gloucester will be at home to Leicester on this ground a week tomorrow. And those Leicester supporters, as we see the delight here from the Gloucester fans as they put their hands high in the air and salute their team. Those Leicester supporters, have they been through the mill this afternoon? Only one scenario could have worked for Leicester. They had to win with a bonus, and Sale had to get nothing to get into the top four.
Well, Sale were the joker in the pack, weren't they? I mean, we thought it would be tight, but for London Irish to close them out, that's a hammer blow for Sale. For Bath, it is a blow, but this was King's home away. They will believe that they can go to Wasps and get a result. They're a good team. They met an unbelievable defensive performance from Gloucester that gave Gloucester just about a deserved win.
Final score at Edgeley Park, by the way, it's finished Sale 17, London Irish 7. Sale 7, London Irish 17. That's why we're able to say that it will be Gloucester against Leicester in the semi-final. Just couldn't finish within the 7. And they're the scenes at Edgeley Park. Dramatic scenes as well. What a final day this has been to the regular season. And the great thing, there's more to come in the semi-finals and the final. Simon, all yours.
Thank you very much, Miles. What an unbelievable end to the regular season of the Guinness Premiership. It rained tries up at Headingley. Leeds eventually succumbing to Wasps, who picked up the bonus point as well, 45-28 there. Leicester, well, the lead ebbed and flowed there, but you just cannot write off the champions at any point, can you? Despite all the problems they're having off the field, they've beaten Quins 31-28. They've snuck in the back door. Sale are out. They butchered a couple of chances in the second half, I'm told. London Irish beating them, having gone all